The Supreme Court has just nuked Trump's tariffs 6-3, and I thought I might wait to do this till noon, but this is too important to talk about right now. So, as a small business owner that makes an American product today, I'm here to tell you that the tariffs were going to be the single greatest thing to help us to fight cheap labor, right? To fight large corporations. And what this basically means is that large corporations can continue to destroy small business, and we can continue to have the massive consolidation of every industry in America right now. And so what this is going to do is this is going to allow large corporations to continue to utilize the third world, where they pay China $250 an hour, they pay Vietnam $175 an hour, with zero regulations, zero OSHA regulations, zero EPA regulations. And what they're going to do is they're going to continue on the back end to push for American regulations. And as they push for these American regulations, it makes it more and more difficult for the average person to then start a small business in America. So this is absolutely devastating as far as I'm concerned. And again, as someone who actually owns an American manufacturing company and who actually employs lots of people that do this real American work, what happened today is wildly disappointing, right? And I don't know how to quite emphasize it enough. The reason most Americans can't make a living wage is because they're competing not only with the third world, but when large corporations bring the third world into America, right? So you guys get a double whammy. So the Supreme Court doing this is basically giving a big fuck you to all the working class Americans today that are tired of competing with the third world in China and Vietnam, and tired of competing with Mexico and Guatemala and South America and all the third world people that corporations are bringing into this country today, right? So one of the things that Trump has done is he has tried to do the mass deportations, and he has failed spectacularly because big business has told him that you cannot do this, right? You cannot do these mass deportations because we'll have no people to do the work, right? And as a small business owner, I've said this many times, it's cheaper for small businesses to let poor people stay on welfare than it is to try and teach them, right? To try and bring them into our businesses and to grow their skills and become productive members of society. This tariff thing is just one more slap in the face in the average working American, right? So no longer do we have to compete with the third world on a level playing field. Businesses get to operate with impunity, right? And this is one of the things that I've talked about, like I said, throughout all my casts. This is devastating for America. And again, you can be one of these people that says, oh, but cheap prices. And I'm here to tell you guys that when you demand cheap prices, you make fuck all wages, right? Your wages don't go up with the cost of living. When you don't make American products for Americans, you will never make an American wage, right? Because again, the pricing pressure on wages comes from businesses being able to operate in the third world for 90% less than they're going to pay you, right? I've told you guys the delta between the $250 that they pay the person in China and the $32.50 an hour they should be paying you is gone. When when the Supreme Court nuked this whole tariff thing, it basically means that all your guys' wages are going to continue to go down. You think it's fucking bad now? You think that inflation is outpacing the wages that you guys are making? Well, guess what? Now large businesses have every incentive to make all their products overseas. Whenever you want to go buy t-shirts, you don't have to buy an American t-shirt from an American company. You can continue to buy your cheap bullshit from China, Vietnam, Thailand, and Indonesia. And again, you guys I guess you could all just go to college forever, right? Because that's the only way you guys will be able to afford to live in America without some kind of checks and balances on either corporations being allowed to send the work to the third world or bring the third world into America and take your fucking jobs. Okay, now, if you guys are in the stream, hit the like button, add the discussion. I want to kick the likes up on this video a lot. I want to get this algorithm kicked around because, again, as a small business owner, I actually deal with this stuff all day, every day. I have, I have 8 employees right at the moment. I make an American-made product. We make American-made furniture right here in St. Louis, Missouri. We also import hardware from India, excuse me. So I have 2 factories over there where we actually have this stuff made, and we design it right here in America, and then we have it brought into America. We add it to our furniture, right? So it's kind of a win-win. So I understand this thing from 2 different points. And again, people need to work for small businesses, right? These big businesses are not going to help you guys make a living wage, okay? And I say this as a complete capitalist, as someone who understands how this shit really works, So who do we got in the stream right now? So we got Sam 5618 in here. We got Erica D-Lap 5821. So Eric D-Lap, good to see you. So again, the Supreme Court struck down the tariffs 6-3, right? And again, the Trump administration is going to do lots of different things to try and bring these tariffs back in. But another thing that it does is it basically kills all the leverage that tried with all these other countries and tried to negotiate different kinds of deals with them, which again, it's kind of smoke and mirrors, if I'm being completely honest. But the tariff alone allows for more competition to be able to exist here in America, right? How does this work? Okay, now listen to me, guys. Pay attention to this, okay? I own a small business in America. I have 8 employees right at the moment. We do small 7 figures in revenue. It's a normal small business, okay? Here's exactly how it works. As these tariffs have come into play, I have my business has gone up almost as much as it did during COVID, right? So I've been able to take more swings at large sales. I've been able to have more opportunities to sell my furniture products to more people because it's more expensive to have it made in places like Vietnam and China, okay? Now, the tariff on China is simply 25%, okay? That's all it took for me to get, to not double my sales, but probably increase my sales by 30 to 40% just because of the tariffs. By having a modest tariff on a place like Vietnam, which I think is something like 15%, that has, again, allowed my business to have more swings at sales. And this is what I want for everybody in America that wants to start a small business, okay? How many more sales would you have the opportunity to have if there was a 100% tariff on China like there's supposed to be, right? And if you're one of these companies that imports all their shit from China and then brings it back here and upcharges Americans for it, I got a real fucking problem with that, okay? I'm tired of the idea of the American business owner making all their shit overseas, bringing it back here, sticking their fucking name on it and calling it American made, okay? It's very frustrating. And this is a topic that I know a ton about because I've been doing this for 10 years now. Started off as a furniture maker in the aerospace industry, grew this company in a fucking garage to where it is now, where we got 15,000 square feet, we do millions in revenue, and we have 8 employees, I think, at this point. So I know what I'm talking about. America has got to wean itself off this dependency for foreign labor, whether it's by sending the work to China or bringing the work in from places like Guatemala and Honduras, okay? The Trump administration wanted to do something about this. Big business shut them down. Now the Supreme Court has shut him down. So every avenue you guys had to make an American wage has been shut down. Okay, it's very frustrating, you know. So, all right, we got comments coming in. Again, I appreciate everyone being here today. If you're here, hit the like button, add the discussion. My name is Eric Wilkin. I owned the Resplendent Crow, which is a boutique furniture company. We're known for our high gloss lacquer coating. It's a fantastic business. It's a great story. Okay, now go to theresplendentcrow.com if you want to see the furniture we sell. I'm not trying to sell you guys fucking courses, master classes, none of that shit. I'm not telling you guys how to get rich. I don't fucking know how to get rich. But I do know that if you have to compete with the third world, everywhere you guys go, you're never going to make a good wage. Okay, so again, dumb guy, never graduated high school, found a way to make some fucking money. I want everyone here to be able to do it, but you've got to shut these people down. Okay, all right, let's see what we got here. So we got, let's see here. This is Emzerito. So WOTC tax credit. Do you know? No, tell me what the WOTC tax credit is. I probably know what it is. I just don't know what your acronym is. So let me know. We got, sorry guys. We got, see, Chosen Law. Your message was redacted. Dan, TC7H. Who cares? Again, who cares? So Dan, I care, right? A lot of people should care about this because again, if more people want to make money here in America, make living wages and not have to feel fucking broke all the time, you need to be able to make American products to sell to Americans. It's very important, right? If you just take a product, have it made in the third world, bring it back over here, then mark it up, I don't consider you to be a real business owner. In fact, you're utilizing slave labor. You utilize a place that doesn't have American EPA standards, American OSHA standards, American tax standards. You're utilizing a place that has none of that shit and then bringing it back over here, sell it to people that have to deal with that shit. I think it's fucked up and it's wrong. All right, Chosen Law. So do you sell other furniture as warranty deal or do you sell copies of the same pieces? So Chosen Law, so what I do is we have basically 4 different revenue streams, okay? So what I do is I sell vintage furniture, right? Meaning I procure it from all over America, right? Because I have a shipping company, I move furniture all over America. I get it coming and I get it going, right? So I'm delivering pieces, I'll pick stuff up, so on and so forth. We also make furniture. So I make more furniture than I sell vintage furniture. We have a lot of production pieces. So I'll sell 50 of the same credenza every year, 50 of the same vanity every year. I also do custom projects. I make 15-foot crotch mahogany dining tables, right? We make, 22-foot dining tables. We make all kinds of, crazy wall units. We do a lot of different work here at the Resplendent Crow. And again, we grew this thing out of a 1.5 car garage. It wasn't even a 2-car garage, right? So that's what I do. Okay, Deb Star says, absolutely agree. Chosen Law, I care. Dan, TC7TH. Why wouldn't you want Americans to make their own things? Yeah, 100%. And again, this is where I'm coming from, Dan. Like I said, what you guys have to understand about this thing, and again, people just don't get how you start small business, how you make money in America today, if you have to compete with the third world, guys, you're in deep shit, okay? So my industry, which is the furniture industry, anyone can understand that story, right? You're making something in your garage, you start selling to a few people, you get a little bit of traction, you start growing your business, maybe you move out of your garage into a smaller facility, right? You start making more furniture and you get traction and you grow this bitch, right? Until you're starting to make a little bit of money. This happened for me, and it's happened for a lot of people that I know. But one of the things that has crushed our business and our industry, the entire furniture industry, is when you allow all these businesses to make everything in the third world. Here's my example, guys. The company Restoration Hardware. Everybody knows this company, okay? Restoration Hardware stock is for about $202 a share right now. They're a publicly traded company. They're one of the wealthiest furniture companies in the world, okay? They own 0 factories. 0, guys. They don't have a fucking factory, right? They don't employ Americans to make any of their shit. 0. Okay. So the largest furniture company, or the most prestigious furniture company in America today owns no factories and has 0 furniture makers, right? It's all branding. Okay. Now, the reason that these companies can spend so much money on branding, Nike is another great example. Nike owns no factories, guys. I hate to tell you this. They have all their shit made overseas, but it's not, none of those factories are owned by Nike. Most of their money is spent on branding, image creation, sponsoring athletes, sponsoring wealthy people, getting people to push their shit, right? That's where they spend the bulk of their money. But then they go out, they buy private jets, they buy yachts, and again, push this image. When you have Chinese people making your shit for $250 an hour instead of Americans making it for $250 an hour, you have that $30 delta that you can then use to create this image, right? Americans, guys, you're hiring people that do, ROI analysis, strategic 3 to 5 year planning. You're hiring people that do shit that real Americans don't give a fuck about, right? And this is the thing that drives me crazy as a small business owner is I want to hire people and train them to do things that they could use in their life, like making shit, right? So anyway, hope that helps your comment. So again, I appreciate you guys being in the stream. Hit the like button. I said I'm not going to give you guys too much time today. I'm probably going to go 30 minutes on this thing, and then I got to get to work. But this is just. I kind of figured this might happen. I kind of figured that the tariffs would be struck down because technically it is a tax and you can't just essentially tax people without Congress. Congress needs to get involved in this. But again, and I've said it a million times, guys, you cannot get elected in government with austerity, right? And taxing is a form of austerity. You cannot get elected this way. And so Congress is never going to pass a tariff. But I'm here to tell you guys, as a furniture company, my sales have gone up 30 or 40% ever since these tariffs went into play. So, take it from me, just a normal dude. This is what I've seen as a furniture maker with, like I said, 8 employees at this point, a couple $1 million in revenue, okay? All right, this is, Titan Brew, good to see you, dude. Okay, 8439, I don't understand why Trump didn't allow the Republican majority in Congress to pass this tariff policy. He was majority in both the House and Senate. He couldn't easily get the tariffs. Yeah, and again, because here's the thing, guys. And again, pay attention to me when I tell you guys this. Like, stop fucking listening to Fox News, CNN, CNBC. All these people are cucks for big business, okay? All these people, all they want to do is push tax cuts and deregulation, okay? Because it helps big business. That's all it helps, right? And again, I've said big business and small business are not the same anymore, right? They're very different. So the foreign companies the large corporations do not want tariffs, guys. They don't want tariffs because they make all their shit overseas, right? They want tax cuts, right? They want to write things off, bonus depreciation, all these kind of things. And again, these guys, they fucking won twice. Big business won fucking twice, guys. They got the tax cuts and they got the tariffs nixed. All right. Again, the EPA regulations stay. The OSHA regulations stay while they send all the work to the third world, guys. And then they bring the third world in here because they don't want to hire you guys. Why the fuck? I've said this as an employer. Why the fuck would I hire you? Again, you're going to bitch about the workplace. You're going to cry about your pay. You're going to fucking whine about, wanting healthcare. You're going to bitch about every fucking thing. So bring the third world in here and they don't bitch about nothing. They work just as hard as you. I pay them just as much as I would pay you and everything's hunky-dory. So this is what we're dealing with. When you let the third world in here, you let businesses outsource everything to the third world, then this is what you guys are going to get. And right now, again, I say this as a Republican. I voted for Trump twice. Again, this guy is fucking you guys 7 ways from Sunday. And again, the Supreme Court, I do have faith in them. I think that this was probably a good ruling, but it really hurts small business. It really hurts people that care about trying to make an American product in America using American labor, right? So this is one more stab in the back for everyone. So again, why would I bring in a lower class individual into my company? Like say I got some young black guy, lives down the street, wants a job, right? Why the fuck would I bring that guy in here, right? Because he's going to smoke weed. He's going to have a lot of family problems. He's going to have all kinds of issues. Why would I fucking hire that guy when I could hire a Mexican who won't fucking complain about nothing, brings his lunch every day, works all the time, isn't on his phone? And again, And if that doesn't work for me, well, then I just outsource it to the third world. You know, why the fuck would I hire you guys? And this is the problem, guys. Like, the large corporations and the government does not want to force America to deal with what they've done to American people. You know, they don't want to do it. They'll just outsource everything and put all you motherfuckers on welfare, and eventually it'll be UBI. And again, then once the robots come in, right? Elon's working on the Optimus robot right now. Once that comes in, like, y'all motherfuckers are on UBI forever. They're never going to hire you guys. They'll either outsource your job or they'll bring in people from the third world or robots and replace all of you. You know, so tariffs were a great way to force America to deal with Americans, to force American businesses to hire Americans and teach Americans some shit, right? And this sucks. This fucking sucks, guys. It pisses me off so bad as an American and as a guy who never went to college, never graduated high school, complete fucking idiot, and found a way to make it in this world. I know that more people can do what it is that I've done, but they're making it just so hard. All right, we got CB2J2Z Amen. Yeah, again, like, the American worker is in deep shit, guys. And I say this as a small business owner. Like, I like hiring people. I like teaching people things. I like seeing people, you know, grow their skills, get new cars, have kids, buy houses, you know, whatever. Like, I love seeing all that shit. But again, when you let large corporations, again, send everything to third world, and if they can't fucking get you to work for the wage they want you to work for, they'll just bring the third world in here, you know. So it's wildly frustrating, guys. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about this issue. I really care about this issue, and I feel bad for everyone that has to watch this shit happen to their country, you know. And then meanwhile, you guys are paying 22.5% to the federal government taxes, and guess what? Now they're going to go over to fucking Iran, right? They're going to go over there and bomb Iran on behalf of Israel. You know, maybe fucking Israel piss some other country off, and then we'll go over there and we'll fuck with those people too. And we're just going to continue to funnel money, you know, into places that we don't want them. We're going to get to funnel work into places that we don't want them. And if we don't want to do the work for the pay that and the benefits that the jobs want to give us, then we'll just bring the third world in here. Now, you guys are fucked, man. You guys are so fucked. So anyway, okay. James Lowe's in here, 2330. Are you saying your raw materials are domestic? Every fucking thing I do at my business is domestic. Every single thing, right? So like, so your plywoods, right? Your plywoods come from Murphy, and they used to come from Roseburg, and they come from Columbia Forestry Products, right? These are all American businesses. The hardwoods come from Indiana, right? We get lots of cherry wood, lots of poplar wood, comes out of Indiana. So it's all domestic, right? The other thing is that all of our employees are all domestic, right? These are all American workers, okay? I sell to Americans. All of our paints, right? We're known for our high gloss lacquer coating. All of our paints are made in Baltimore, Maryland, right? They make 150,000 gallons of nitrocellulose paint a day, right? So that's where our paint comes from. So when people try and minimize what the what it means to be an American business, right? Say, oh, you can't have all your shit made in America. You got to use the third world, blah 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 blah. I'm here to tell you guys that you're all full of shit. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because again, here's a fucking idiot white guy from Corvallis, Oregon, figured this shit out, figured out how to make an American business work. More people can do this kind of stuff. But again, when we let these fucking politicians and now the Supreme Court make it possible for all these businesses to send all your guys' jobs overseas, you're not going to get the wages you want. You're not going to get the benefits you want. You're not going to get any fucking retirement. You guys are going to retire on UBI, you know, and it's fucking bullshit, guys. This infuriates me as an American business owner, right? A fucking idiot American business owner, okay? So yeah, so all my shit is made in America, and you can do it. So when these guys tell you that shit, and yes, I do have things that aren't made in America. Of course I do. I'm not saying every business is 100% American made, right? I do get my magnets. They come from China, right? My magnet catches, my bloom hinges, they come from Austria. Like, what am I going to do, right? So there's another company called Solace that makes hinges. You know, I think they're foreign as well, you know, so I do the best that I can, but I'd say that 90% of everything that I buy is made in America, you know, so anyway. All right, this is Adam Sauto 89. It doesn't even matter if you're educated, you're still going to come into your sector of business and do all the easy work that they capable of doing. Yeah, and this is one of the things that I've learned being a small business owner is that it doesn't matter what your education is, right? Even if you go to college and you get super educated, you're still essentially going to start at the bottom, and that's how it should be. But I think that more people need to understand that you should have fucking done that to begin with, right? College will get you in the door, but college isn't going to keep you in the door, right? It'll get you in the door. It'll give you the opportunity to prove that you can do the basics, which are essentially show up on time, do a full day's work, do a good job, you know, ask questions. These are just like basic things. Stay off your phone all fucking day and, you know, be a good asset to the company. But an education is not necessary. You know, and again, I figured this shit out being, again, a complete idiot. I failed way more than I've succeeded. So, all right, we got Vamp Calf in here. Is this Vamp Calf? Never seen you before. Glad you're here. If you guys are in the stream, again, hit the like button, add to the discussion. We are talking about the Trump tariffs real quick. The Supreme Court knocked them down. And again, I have a small, my God, finally came back. Sorry, guys, we got a big lag in there. Okay, comments. We got a lot of great comments in here. So if you're in the stream right now, my name is Eric Rowe, small business furniture company. We make custom furniture here in America. We use American products. We have American workers, and we sell to Americans. And as a small business owner, I'm here to tell you guys that when the Supreme Court shuts down tariffs, it makes it harder for all you guys to get the wages that you want, to get the wages and benefits that you're entitled to. When you don't tariffs, it allows large corporations to then, and small corporations, to send all your guys' work to the third world. It allows them to bring the third world in here, and it fucks you guys in the ass when it comes to making money and getting benefits, living in the greatest country that has ever existed in the history of man, okay? So this is a big blow for the American worker. This is a big blow for people that want to start small businesses. This is a big blow for people that want to make real American wages and get real American benefits. So I feel really bad for people. And this is my topic. As a small business owner, someone that, like I said, does a small 7 figures, I got 8 employees. I send furniture all over the country all year long. Tariffs allowed me to grow my business by 30 or 40% ever since they were put into effect, right? As an American business, I was able to get more swings at it, okay? Now, that is strictly from raised, absolutely, but what it does is it forces these companies to then have to hire Americans, and guess what? You got to pay American wages, and this is what they don't want to do. They bring the third world in here to do the jobs for you, you know. So this Supreme Court thing is a massive blow to us. Okay, more comments. We got more. This is a Vamp Camp. Too bad we did it to our. It's not, Trump's not the problem, and the World Trade Organization, every major company in America sent all that work to the third world, right? And the truth is that the third world is fucking full of retards. Okay, and I'm not here to like bash first world countries, but these people they're not intelligent, and not because they can't be, but because they've never been that intelligent, right? So when we sent all that work over there, right, what we had to do is we had to educate them on how to use, you know, things like CNC routers, things like die cast machines, things like forming machines, right? We had to teach them how to do all this shit. So we sent our own people over there and taught the Chinese how to do it, right? When it came time for them to do things that were science related, we sent all of our scientific technology over there. We sent all of our scientists over there, and these companies taught these people how to do this shit, right? They didn't push for the American EPA standards in China. They didn't push for the American OSHA standards over there, right? So they got people to do all this cheap shit. They then told you guys, hey, guess what? You're going to get to work in an office, right? You're going to be Gordon fucking Gecko, and you're going to make all this money in finance, and you're never going to have to work hard in your life, right? They sent you all you had to do was go to college. They sent you to college. They had you learning the shit in college. And now, fast forward 20 years, guess what? You guys can't make enough fucking money to pay rent. You can't afford to have a house, a family, you know, a car, a dog. You can't afford to have jack shit because they sent all your jobs to the third fucking world. And now, again, with this tariff thing, it just gives businesses more of an inclination to send your guys' jobs to the third world. You're going to have more Americans claiming they're business owners when they have all their shit made in the third world. They bring it back here, they mark it up 10 times, and they fucking sell it to you guys, and they rake in cash. Instead of making that product here in America and only making 3 times as much, they're making it in the third world with fucking slave wages in places where they dump all their chemicals in the fucking water. There's no ability for employees to sue their employers. There's no safety, and I shouldn't say there's fewer safety standards, and there's few EPA standards in all of these places. And this is what happens when you don't tariff other countries, right? The large corporations just take advantage of the situation, and then they take all that money that they save by employing people in the third world, and they go to Congress people and they say, hey, you know what? We sure could use some new safety standards. We sure could use some more transportation standards. We sure could use some more EPA standards over here, because what it does, it makes it harder for small businesses to start, right? And this is how the games work, guys. And again, like, talk to your congressperson, talk to somebody, but get these fucking tariffs back. I'm telling you guys, you might not like the fact that it will raise prices on things, but again, in time, it means more American businesses are making products in America for Americans, right? And the other thing you guys don't know is that the third world, the first world, excuse me, the third world, all these Eastern countries, they fucking love American products, right? So you have the opportunity to sell into these places just based on the cachet that the American name has, right? And some people think that, you know, other countries don't like Americans. They fucking love us, okay? And here's the last thing I'm going to say about this thing. And again, pay attention to this shit, guys, because I don't hear enough people talking about how markets work. And again, I'm a fucking retarded business owner. I fucking never graduated high school, and even I understand this shit, all right? America is the single greatest market that has ever existed in the history of civilization, okay? Everybody and their fucking brother wants to be in America selling their products, okay? How does this work? Okay, I'll use the example of a bottle of water, okay? You guys know that you can sell a bottle of water at Walmart, right? You can go buy it, it costs you 50 cents. Okay, you can go to your gas station, 7-Eleven, Quick Trip, Shell, whatever it might be. You can buy that same bottle of water. Well, in there, it's going to be $2 to $3, right? You can then go to, say you want to go to a sporting event, right? Sporting event water bottle is going to be $5 to $7, right? Go to the fucking airport, buy that bottle of water. It's probably going to be, you know, $8 to $10, right? So the market where you sell your product is almost more important than the product, okay? So where do you think America sits in my little market analogy there? Do you think we're Walmart or we're the airport? Okay, every motherfucker that sells anything in the entire world wants to sell into America. And this is worth a shit ton of money. I know this because I sell a luxury product. Okay, go to theresplendentcrow.com. You'll see my $20,000 desk, my $12,000 credenzas. We sell a fucking expensive product because we are in the best market in the history of civilization. So people need to understand how markets work. Trump does understand how markets work. And again, he, as someone who actually imports products from the third world, I can tell you guys how tariffs really work. When everyone tells you that Americans are taking on 90% of the tariffs, they're full of shit, okay? All your Nobel laureate fucking economists don't understand how this shit works because they've never had to deal with it, okay? Here's how tariffs really work. When I import hardware from India, right, there's several people downstream before that product ever arrives here in America, okay? Every one of those people has had a conversation, right? If tariffs are going to be 50% on India, you think for a second I'm not going to have a conversation with my manufacturer? You think I'm not going to say, look, dude, I can't buy as much furniture. I got 50% tariff over here. You're going to have to eat some of this shit, right? And then everyone says, oh, well, they're not going to do business with you. Bullshit. Everyone in India has to eat too. And guess what? If they could sell hardware into America, or I guess I'm not going to sell it to Erica, I guess I'm going to sell it over to whatever Guangdong in Singapore, right? They want to be here, right? He's going to negotiate, right? The people bringing the shit in here, guess what? They're going to negotiate, right? So by the time it gets to me, if there's a 50% tariff, I might end up taking on 30% of it, right? Now, how much of that tariff am I going to pass on to my customer? Well, my product is a luxury product. So truth is, I could eat every bit of it, right? But some of it I might pass on to my customer, right? But they're not going to eat the full 50%. The end customer might end up eating 10, 15% of it, okay? That's how tariffs really work. And all these fucking people think that, you know, sales are just going to go down. No one's going to be buying shit. And the truth is that is not how it works. Everybody wants to protect their ability to sell into their market. Okay, and if sometimes we got to lower prices in order to keep our sales volume where we need it to be, or we need to lower our prices in order to keep our market share, we will do it. Whether you're in India, whether you're in China, whether you're in whatever. The truth is that most of these foreign countries have paid the bulk of these tariffs. Okay, yes, Americans are paying some of it. Hell, we could have even paid half of it. But when they say we're paying 90% of it, all these people are fucking full of shit. Okay, there's no fucking way Americans are paying 90% of this. There's just no way. Okay, so anyway, I think I gave you guys 30 minutes. What I got a minute and a half. Let me go through comments here real quick. I apologize. I'm just ranting at this point because I'm super pissed off about this situation as an American furniture maker with employees who have seen their wages grow, have seen our sales grow because of tariffs. Large corporations won again. The third world won again. You know, bringing people into the third world, they all won again. You know, the American business owner lost today. The American worker lost today. And you guys think you're fucking winning because you're going to get cheaper shit out of China. Well, guess what? You ain't going to make no fucking money working for people that outsource all their work to the third world. If you want to make real money, you got to work for a real American business that sells real American products made with American materials to Americans and the rest of the world. So, okay, go through comments. Mackie20 says, I love Trump. Okay, good, man. Good for you. If you guys are in the stream, hit the like button on the discussion. Like I said, we're going to go to about 30 minutes here, and then I got to get back to work. We got, who's this? This is Chris, 82109, America. Hell yeah, man. Elevator has guardrails. 3666. You are a wood runner. I am a wood maker. I am also a marathon and ultra endurance runner. Elevator has guided rails. Okay, I read your comment. We got Lee on here. I got circled for Israel. Okay, I'm not sure what you're saying there, dude. More comments. Richard Murray, 7729. I agree. A lot of people have bad work expectations, but the solution isn't to replace them with immigrants. It's a short-term fix that leads to bigger long-term problems. Richard Murray, you're 100% right. This idea that, again, you don't have to have lived in poverty forever, and therefore you don't have to deal with them. This is a terrible way to operate our economy. That's exactly what's happening. It's cheaper to let all these fucktards end up on welfare, end up on UBI, and not bring them into our businesses, and just bring the third world in here, right? It's a wild way to treat your American citizens, but that's exactly what's happening. So it really bothers me. Richard Murray, great comment, dude. If you're still in here, I really appreciate it. Johnny Baxter Music, have you served your country? No, I tried to serve my country, Johnny. Right after 9/11, I was one of those Midwest country boys that wanted to go fucking kill terrorists. I couldn't duck walk. I had a torn ACL when I was younger, and they didn't like how I duck walked, and they told me I couldn't join the Army. I was going to go and be a light wheel mechanic. I was super excited. Later on, I went on to start small businesses. I went to do ultra marathon events. I did World's Toughest Mudder. I've done all kinds of your Spartan ultra endurance races. I've done all kinds of shit, but the military said I couldn't do it, so I tried, couldn't do it. But I'm an advocate for veterans now, and I'm an advocate for people that want to work in American businesses. I'm an advocate for the American worker. I'm an advocate for having reciprocal regulations, right? So if we have, a dozen of these bullshit OSHA regulations, you should have those in China. If your fucking factory that you get all your shit made doesn't have any of that shit here, you can't use that fucking factory. If all the EPA bullshit that we have here in America doesn't exist in China, well, guess what? You can't fucking operate over there. We have to have reciprocal regulations, right? Trump tried it with the tariffs. Tariffs were a good start, but the regulations are what make it really difficult to operate in America. And it's one of the reasons that most corporations, as soon as they can send work to the third world, they do it. So I hope people understand this stuff. Okay, we got Luke GT7 says, crash it. Yeah, kind of bit, man. Johnny Baxter Music, buy American. If you can, man, buy American. But again, it's hard to buy American unless you're rich, right? It's easier to buy American if you work for an American business and you get American wages. Pretty simple. See, Skippy says, yeah, well, Skippy's back in here. Boy, you always talk shit, Skippy, but you always come back. So I don't know what to tell you, man. Okay, I laugh it out. America is definitely not the greatest country in the world. They're clearly never visited a European country. My wife's from India. I spent tons of time in New Zealand. I've been around the world, dude. Like, go fuck yourselves. You don't know what you're talking about. No, you guys ever notice that people only want to come to America? You guys ever notice that? Like, it's not like we, we're people are just itching to get out of here. It's always these liberal Karen bitches that leave, and then guess what? They always end up coming back because they're like, oh god, it fucking sucks in these other countries. So yeah, and it's great to talk shit about Europe, and I'll tell you guys the thing about Europe. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the honest to god truth about Europe. The only reason Europe hasn't been conquered yet is because America backstocks them, just like Israel, right? The only reason that Europe has things like universal health care and universal education is because their fucking bitch asses don't have to pay for a military, right? They'll talk all this shit. Oh God, France is so great. Yeah, France is fucking. They were conquered by the Vikings. France was conquered by Hitler, right? France gives up. France is full of bitches. Nobody wants to be associated with fucking France. Bunch of soy boy, fucking bag making bitches over there. Like, don't talk to me about fucking Europe. The minute we leave NATO, guess what? Europe's gonna find the fuck out. Okay, let's see, is Michael McDonough, 2238, but Congress is given the right to tariffs, not the president. Yeah, and 100%. And again, I think the Supreme Court made the right decision, but this is one of those deals where the American worker is going to get fucked. Big business won here. Like, big business has been screwing you guys since 2001 when they let China in the World Trade Organization, and now they're going to do it again. They're going to continue to screw these people. And Mike, I haven't read the decision from the Supreme Court, but if I had to guess, I'm guessing that America's not going to pay back any of these tariffs that they've taken in. That's probably not going to be part of the situation. They simply said that the president cannot issue tariffs. It needs to go to Congress, right? Which makes perfect sense to me. But again, you guys all lost, right? You guys all lost. And again, I say this as a business owner that hires Americans, that makes American products, that ships American products all over America. Like I said, you guys all lost. So, but Michael McDonough, you're 100% right. I agree with your comment. Good deal. All right, JB Reddy says, okay, got something there. Cool. Chicken Nugget 3000. UNC, if you are found anywhere close to Sun City, Idaho, you will have more holes in you than a shirt with buttons. Okay, not sure what's going on there. Chicken nugget sounds like some kind of a threat, but thanks for the comment. You guys are the stream, hit the like button, out of the discussion. 1934 all over again. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe, guys. We're in a rough spot as a country. The large corporations and politicians are all kind of working together, guys, and it's just they don't care about the American worker. They don't care about the American small business owner. If we were running things the way America needs to be ran, instead of having, you know, whatever, 100. Let me start over here. The way that it needs to work is back in, like, say, the 70s, you would have, you know, whatever, 500 furniture companies, right? As we've moved on, right, and we moved on to letting China in the World Trade Organization, we passed NAFTA in the 90s, the amount of furniture consolidation, the furniture businesses, you know, we're down to like maybe 100 furniture companies, right? So you had this massive 80% consolidation, or everyone's just gone out of business, right? You're left with essentially less choice, right? Less Americans doing this work, less Americans passing their businesses and their skills onto their children, right? Like, no one says, oh my God, I want to grow up and be a fucking data analyst like my dad. Like, it just doesn't work that way, you know? So this massive consolidation has left you guys with a few companies that do all the work. And so you're just stuck with these shitty choices. And that's what's going to continue to happen, right? The large corporations do not want there to be 500 different furniture companies because it makes it harder for them to corner the market, right? To have the most potential for sales, right? America is supposed to be built up of lots of companies, lots of businesses. This is an entrepreneurial country, and large corporations are crushing it, guys. They're fucking crushing. All you guys are going to make it harder for you guys to start small businesses by layering on regulation, whether it's OSHA, whether it's EPA, whether it's transportation, whether it's tort, whether it's taxes. They're just layering that shit on, and then they don't have to operate in the space with those same regulations because they send all the work to the third world. It's really fucked up, guys. So okay, let's see. This is a Magnus Kane, some guy. I used to go elk cutting right on the Idaho-Oregon border in Hell's Canyon in Imnaha. So cool spot. I don't know if we got any hunter mode. Okay, not sure what's going on there. Johnny E, you know what you're talking about. Okay, dude. Well, again, I've got through the really difficult part. You know, now you guys again keep taking it, guys. Just fucking keep taking it. It's let's see what happens. Titan Brew 8494. Thanks for the common sense. Yeah, thanks, dude. Titan Brew, I appreciate it. Coltonoma, what state? So my name is Eric Wilkin. I own the Resplendor. We are located in St. Louis, Missouri, right? We're a small business. We do about 500 pieces a year. We're a small 7-figures company. Me and my wife started this thing, and it's grown into being a great company. And I tell anyone that sees me on YouTube, you guys are ever in St. Louis, come visit the Resplendent Crow. Come say hi. Tell me you're one of these guys that argues with me on YouTube. I'd love to show you around, show you what it is we do, so you guys can see that we're a real company. We make real American products, and we know how the real American economy works. And again, television's lying to you guys. Big business is lying to you guys. Your government's lying to you guys. Anyone can do this. It's very difficult to get the ball rolling. It's very difficult to get loans. It's very difficult to find money. It's very difficult to get the equipment, the space, all these kind of things that you need. It takes a long time, and most people just can't stomach it. It's very difficult. So, okay. Anyway, guys, let's go through. I got the last two comments I'm going to get here. We got, who's this? One Shot Thrill 84. There's never been 100 furniture companies. Bullshit, dude. There's been like 700 furniture companies in this country. Go back to the 1800s, right? Furniture was one of the, and if you look at the history of furniture has been one of the most, what's the word I'm looking for? The most consistent industries in America since its founding. Okay, and again, it's being all sold out to the third world, guys. With the advent of CNCs and the advent of controlling the shipping lanes between here and places like China, again, it's just opened up all these different economies. And again, MBAs and people that are, you know, with business degrees and highly educated people that don't want to actually work, they just want to run shit, they're sending all the work over there, guys. And it sucks. It fucking sucks. But America has had hundreds and hundreds of furniture companies since, again, its founding, right? It's one of the most consistent industries that's ever existed in this country. So, okay, Sublime in all, man, like your name. Both sides of politics are in Epstein files. Yeah, and I've talked about Epstein files a million times. I could blow this thing up to thousands of people watch if I would talk about Epstein, but, you know, we got real shit to talk about. I think we've covered Epstein to death at this point. Hopefully that topic will keep resonating with people. More people need to go to jail over that shit. More people need to resign. Again, your Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, fucking all over that shit. That guy needs to go. Your president, I think he severed ties with Epstein back in 07, which was good. He did it before the guy became a child trafficker, so that's fantastic. But you got people in this government that are in these files, and we've got presidents that have been in these files, and it's very icky. You know, it's dirty. Okay, let's see. Last comment here. All right, one shot. We'll give you the last comment. One shot. Start naming the furniture companies. Bet you can't get to 20. Well, let's start here. Okay, the big ones, right? I'll do this real quick. So the most important furniture companies, right? So did you guys know that Edison had a furniture company, right? We'll go all the way back to there, right? Made Victrolas, right? These are literally everyone thinks of them as just being something that played music, but no, it's an entire box, right? You got Magnavox. You guys remember Magnavox? Magnavox made furniture. You got a lot of companies you guys wouldn't think made furniture, actually made furniture, right? Record player companies, all these kind of things. So some of your big furniture companies. So one of the ones that exists today, which is really struggling, 125 years old, is Kindle Furniture, located in Michigan, right? Other massive companies that are no longer here are companies like Henredon, right? Henredon out of North Carolina, Mastercraft out of, again, Grand Rapids, Michigan, okay? We talk about other companies, Drexel, Dixie. One of the largest companies that still exists today that's all American made is Bassett Furniture. You guys want to buy good quality, medium priced furniture? Look up Bassett Furniture. Super important company. They literally just got done talking about how fucking hard it is to grow their business because of all the regulations it takes in order to make a company go, okay? We got other businesses, right, that make furniture. Restoration Hardware, which is a large furniture company, makes no fucking furniture in America, yet everyone thinks they're a furniture company. They have no factories, right? Pottery Barn, no fucking factories. Our House, no fucking factories, okay? We've got a lot of furniture companies that don't actually make fucking furniture here in America. They don't have factories. They don't employ craftspeople, right? They just have the shit made over in China where the real furniture factories are. You guys don't know this, but a lot of your furniture companies today, they don't own any fucking factories. They're all in these districts in China and Vietnam where they do all this work, okay? So that's just a couple. You want me to fucking keep going? I mean, we've got American and Martinsville, right? American and Martinsville, no longer in business, right? You want to talk about, we got Hickory Chair. Hickory Chair, one of the oldest, beautiful furniture companies in America, still here. We got Theodore Alexander, still in business. We got Century Furniture, still in business. Like, motherfucker, I can do this all day long. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know who the fuck you're talking to. This is the real deal. I'm a real fucking furniture company. My passion is furniture. I've done it my entire life. Don't even fucking come at me, son. What do they say? You don't want this smoke. Anyway, guys, I got to go. I appreciate everyone watching. Follow, hit the subscribe button. You want to learn about the furniture industry. You want to learn how to paint furniture. You want to learn what it takes to start a small business.